Hello.
It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Friday.
It's Friday, and our moderator celebrated a birthday yesterday.
I
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you
Yes,
did.
ma'am.
Happy birthday.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Mm,
Yes.
mm.
We're all drinking water.
I'm just doing it in solidarity.
Everybody trying to recuperate.
That's a good.
Recuperate.
That is a good observation.
Yeah. Everybody's like, "Ooh, look at my water in my cup."
All I know is last night Mokita called me on FaceTime. That's all I know.
Well, she doesn't know
right in
she
time.
called me.
Oh, she called you?
Doesn't remember. It's that she called me. She was in a room hiding.
Get the
Listen.
story straight, Mokita.
Yes.
I was sleepy.
Hiding.
I was sleepy.
She said
It was a wonderful time.
She needed to catch her second win. But as soon as we came on, I was like, oh, she's back.
Yeah, yes. With that one leg, yes. She was back.
She was doing the mostest last night.
And that cake. And that cupcake.
Supposed to.
Thank you, Ebony.
The wonderful milestone.
Very true.
It looked like a great time. It looked like a great time. I was at Charlie Brown Airport waiting on my ride, but
he's there now. That's why he's not on the show.
The weather in Texas
is the weather in Texas
flight pattern.
Threw it all out. That's what it did.
Well, all I know is Texas still has my dress. I went ahead and just canceled that order before we came on the show.
Yeah, you weren't getting that. Yeah, no. You weren't getting that.
No, thank you, Dante. Thank you. No, I'm not getting that dress.
I'm so sorry.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Texas, why was it hold up in Texas?
Oh, girl, millions of people without electricity for days and record-breaking cold temperatures. We had a lot of different celebrities now coming together to try to give back and help.
I saw Beyonce. You know my girl. Yeah. They good.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Beyonce has some.
Beyonce got to help out her folks from Texas. You know she a Texas girl.
Oh yeah, she is Texas.
Right.
I guess they do need to have some state senator to
down. H-Town.
If they senator left, I guess they need somebody to help.
I'm about to say.
Oh yeah, he in Aruba or something like that, right?
Ted Cruz.
Mexico.
No, he's back.
Mexico. He went to Mexico.
And don't disparage state senators. He's a U.S. senator. Okay.
Yeah.
State senators do right by people.
He's
an
idiot.
Did you see how his wife's friend threw them under the bus though?
What did they say?
Like, let me just go on and run y'all these text messages to let you know that he was not going to take his daughter. So y'all haven't seen the text?
No.
Yeah, I saw a text with his wife. His wife was texting.
Yeah. Group chat amongst the people in the subdivision, apparently. And so
in the cul-de-sac.
In the cul-de-sac. So Cruz's wife said, well, we lost power, but we're staying with one of the neighbors. The neighbor then lost power, and she was like, well, now their power's gone out. We got to get out of here. Anybody want to go to Mexico? She put the flight number, the time. She said, we're going to stay at the Ritz-Carlton. It was 3:09 at night at the Ritz-Carlton. So they booked everything and went. Well, meanwhile, they're at the airport and everybody's taking all these pictures of him saying, oh, so the senator just going to jet on us while we, struggling down here.
Pretty much.
Right.
He gets to Mexico. And when he hears about all of the fuss, because people were calling for his resignation, he hears about all the fuss, he decides to turn around and come back the next day.
Right.
So
he booked a flight that day.
He booked the flight that day.
Wow.
And then he requested a police escort from the airport because he was afraid of what would happen when he got to the airport.
Yeah.
So they sent the police escort. So he gets back to the States and he says, well, the only reason why I left was because my daughters were on break. And
I saw that.
they asked, could they go to Mexico? And being a good parent, I wanted to escort
Yeah.
them there. I was gonna come back the next day. The group chat, the wife's
What'd you
friend from
say?
the group chat was like,
Oh
Maury
my
said,
goodness,
Maury
they were
Povich
like,
said that
they
was
were
a
like,
lie.
that's not
the
what
more
happened.
Kobe said that was a lie.
He said,
A lot of
the
Texas
wife's friend said that is
that's
not
a
what
lie.
happened. This is what happened. Here,
Right. And see,
Got
so
it.
I stand by what I was explaining to you last night, Miles. It starts with the leadership. If your
No,
people are in distress, you don't leave your people in distress.
Well,
How can you do that?
Ebony,
And you the leader.
but Ebony, you
Maybe he
gotta
didn't know
understand
what
something.
with the.
B,
Go ahead.
I
no.
didn't
Even the
disagree. I
people
wasn't
on the
disagreeing with
Titanic
that.
that was
I wasn't
playing the
disagreeing with
guitar,
that.
playing the
He didn't
strings,
be
wouldn't
said
even
the
leave.
Titanic.
They weren't
Ebony,
gonna leave until the ship went down.
there's a difference. There's a difference between it being your people and the people. He left
Right.
the people.
well, no, he
Right.
left his people too, because the people in his subdivision didn't have power. And
Yeah,
he was
that's
like,
my
Mo,
point. That's
Mo,
my point. They
them
was the
ain't
people
his
Not his
too.
people.
They ain't his
subdivision.
people
Them
either.
ain't his people.
Can you say
And they found
subdivision
out.
for where
Hey, they
Texas
found out
live?
when he left. They found out when he left that they wasn't his people either, Mo. So guess what? That's why they ratted on his ass. That's exactly what they
They
told him.
did.
listen, they did invite him. They just decided they weren't
He's like,
going to
hey,
go.
hey, look, and he was probably calling them you people at that. You people got to stay right where you at.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's the people, there's your people, and there's you people.
You people.
But I'm just saying
Y'all.
to the Texas audience out there, there's a definition of insanity that says if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and
Yeah.
expecting a different result, you're
Say
insane.
that.
Stop
You keep-
electing that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's been in office for over 10 years now. Y'all had a chance to vote him out. You
But
get
see,
what you get.
but
He
Dwight,
need
you
to
know
be
what?
done. Yeah.
I concur with that sentiment, Dwight. But I think also they really need to examine the theory of or the stipulation of having term limits in place for these people so that they can't continue to win and run again. Because all of that does is continue to perpetuate the foolishness that they have passed year in and year out, policy wise, for their constituency, and that's a major problem. You talk about guys like Ted Cruz, you talk about guys like Mitch McConnell, you talk about guys like Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
And I want to use some choice language, but I want us to get picked up by the network. So
Say it. Let it out, Miles.
But these people have been in office. These people have been in office far too long, Dwight, simply because they're allowed to be, and they shouldn't be allowed to be. There needs to be some type of term limits placed on this stuff so that you can't continue to vote for the same racist institution that continues to.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree, Miles, but I would also say that the thing about a senator, U.S. senator, state senator, or a congressperson is at the end of the day, they're elected directly by the people, right? So it's like it's not like an electoral college like you have with the president or some other stipulation. Ted Cruz was a jerk.
Right.
4 years ago, Ted Cruz was a jerk when he first ran. He was one of the first people to talk about birtherism. You know what I'm saying? One person I saw called him, he's like, the commentator on MSNBC said, all Ted Cruz is Rush Limbaugh in the Senate. And that's really all he is, right? He's a commentator. He's a troll.
Does that mean he's going to die soon too, or no?
No, we'll see.
I was just asking.
Hey, I said to say some things, but I didn't know he was gonna go that far.
I was just curious.
But Miles, the problem with Ted Cruz is he'll come back like a zombie. That's the problem. Get elected again.
Side note, the ancestors did handle that, didn't they? The ancestors handled that. They came
Look,
over.
they were like, isn't it weird how he died in Black History Month?
That's why I say the ancestors have spoken.
Listen, I made my comment about that. I'm gonna be quiet from here on about that. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Not gonna say anything else.
What a rush!
Not gonna say anything else about it. But the irony does make you do The Rock.
The ancestors have spoken. Like I said,
I can't lift my eyebrow like the Rock.
Have spoken. Period. That's it.
April, that is not one night's packing.
It's not.
The suitcases that he
That thing
rolled.
was
He
I just put it in our group.
First of all, that wouldn't fit in the overhead compartment either.
He paid for that bag. He paid for that. You don't pay for stuff overnight just one night.
You know what?
He was going on a vacation.
You know what, AG? You know what? When I was discussing that issue with my sister last night, I should have thought about that. He wasn't planning on going down there for one day. Like you said, that suitcase was entirely too big. He was getting ready to parlay.
He put that thing on the scale.
If you go for one day, all you need is a backpack.
He had to pay.
You need
one
pair of drawers, one pair of jaws, one pair of jeans.
Yeah.
One undershirt, one t-shirt, and a pair of
overnight bag.
And that's all you need. That's all you
First of all, if you're going overnight, you don't need no bag. Because all you're doing is put it in a book bag. Let's keep it moving.
Right.
No.
Brandy.
Oh.
I thought she was stuck. I was like, why is she staring like that?
Yeah. She's froze. I said she's frozen. I put that in our chat too.
Right.
And so Jessica, what's going on with Kim and Kanye?
Oh, wait, before we do that, I wanted to keep that same energy going about Ted Cruz. Is it okay? Can we come back to Kim?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
It's your party, Ms. Markins. Tell us what you want us to do.
It's your birthday.
Talk about something that's really bothering me. And it's the treatment of players in this league. To watch Andre Drummond before the game sit on the sideline, then go to the back, and then come out in street clothes because a team is going to trade him. Because when James Harden asked for a trade and essentially dogged it, I don't think there was no surprise or there's no one's going to fight back that James was dogging it his last days in Houston. But he was castrated for wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. And yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy is to go sit. And if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue. And we've seen situations of Harrison Barnes getting pulled off the bench. DeMarcus Cousins finding out that he's traded in an interview after the All-Star game. And we continue to let this happen. But I got fined for stating my opinion of what I thought should happen with another player. But teams can come out and continue to say, oh, we're trading guys, we're not playing you. And yet we're to stay professional. At some point, as players, we need to be treated with the same respect and have the same rights that the team can have. Because as a player, you're the worst person in the world when you want a different situation. But
yeah.
Off that.
He has a point.
I do not understand, and I do not like that they trade people in the season while they're playing. I don't understand that for the life of me, how you can do that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and then if you're not talking, you don't know what's going on. Well, how would you expect somebody to feel if they are learning that their life is getting ready to be turned around at a drop of a dime and nobody felt like they need to talk to them about it?
Well, let me ask you.
How you gonna think that I'm supposed to be professional and I gotta move?
Well, April, if I was paying you $10 million, would you allow Southridge to trade you to South Dade?
Listen, I'll be
but no, wait. Here's the thing, though, Miles. But here's the thing. I think what happens a lot of times, especially with NBA, NFL, baseball, whatever, people always want to talk about how much these players are making. Imagine how many people on your roster. Imagine how many people you have in that arena, how many staff you have, how much you have. You might have a private jet. Imagine what these owners make.
Oh, no doubt, Roy. No
doubt. And nobody ever talks about it. And here's the thing. What he's really saying is modern day slavery on how black players are treated. And so they're going to put that junk out we know Miles is garbage. He's bad. He's a cancel for the show, but we still keep him on. We know that.
Oh my God.
But
Oh
we still got to treat him some way, some right, somehow. Give him
I was trying
some
to figure
rights.
out where you was going with that one.
But it's modern day slavery, and I think that's the problem.
I know
Players.
where you're going.
But here's the thing. I mean, here's the thing. What happens is it's almost like moving cattle, right?
Of course.
You move the cattle and say, hey, go to the left, go to the right, but you're not thinking about the mental piece. You're not thinking about their family. You're not thinking about their kids. It's still a job.
Crazy.
It's a job. And so what he's saying is, hey, we got to have some rights too. You also have fans right on the floor that harass, well, it's not now, but the fans talk crazy to you half the time. You can't do nothing. So it's really a lot of control.
LeBron
All-Star
just
game.
had that issue with
that
girl.
Yeah.
I think the dichotomy that's at play here, like you said, was on one hand you have
dichotomy.
You guys are so funny.
That boy's
on one
vocabulary
hand,
is fast.
On one hand, you have the plight of the players who, like you said, demand to be treated. And one thing that the NBA can always make the assertion of is that they are typically, when we talk about collective bargaining agreements and player unions, they're one of the strongest ones amongst the professional athletes, them in baseball. So I think that they're, in particular, the NBA on one side, the players have the plight of being treated with a certain amount of respect and dignity and integrity as it pertains to their rights as professionals, which I agree with. But on the flip side of that coin, on the other side, like you said, you started off your soliloquy by saying it's a job. And you have to understand that within when you sign your name on that dotted line for that contract, when you're making these tens and 20s and $30 million a year plus and $500 million contracts and what have you, that's a part of the game. And you have to be willing to deal with the ebbs and flows, take the good with the bad, and deal with it as such. And I'm not
No, I agree, but it goes both ways. That's the problem. And it's one-sided.
I'm not disagreeing with Draymond's assertions, and I'm not disagreeing with his sentiments. I'm just saying that there's another side to it. Because
there is.
You signed your name on the dotted line. You signed up for that. So you have to be able to
still think that
that's what you signed up for.
Contract that says
that's like us going to work and then
that's right, Miles. I mean, right, Dwight. And that's what it is.
They don't work and they be like, "Oh yeah, you don't work at no more. You work at you work at Norland."
I didn't sign up for that.
Like,
nobody signs up for that.
But you know what? Here's the difference between the players and the owners. What the owners do is they use the media to push their agenda, their message onto these players. So you're not only dealing with the owners, you're dealing with the media.
Yeah.
And so it's like I can make you look like a mockery in the media by using them to talk bad about you and create this narrative about you, and it might not even be true, but you're not still the mental piece of it. So you're supposed to still be in shape, still be professional, and sit there in your street clothes and go, yes sir, no sir, yeah, just I'm ready. What you need me to do, boss?
No, he said it very well. I was so proud of Draymond.
What were you trying to say, Dwight?
Dwight.
No, I was just throwing out there that, like, let's be clear. Like, part of the reason why the Harden situation even popped off was the owner of the Houston Rockets
is a staunch Donald Trump supporter.
Yeah, was a staunch Donald Trump supporter, and Russell Westbrook wanted to declare, like, all their team basically wanted to quit on them when they were in the bubble because of some of the stuff he was saying. So all that trade stuff happened when cats were like, I can't play for an owner who doesn't recognize my value as a black man and only treats me as like a tool for to score points. And so that's really when James Harden wanted to clear it. In the Andre Drummond case, this is like the second time that's happened to him. It happened to him in Detroit, and now it's happened to him again, where he's putting in work. Like it'd be one thing if he was like a vocal, outspoken. Right. He just shows up, ties up his shoes, and plays ball, and yet they keep treating him like a commodity. So Draymond was like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna speak up for the brother because the brother just, puts his head down and does his job, but we can't keep doing this."
And another point I have with that situation too, Roy, and to the group. But another point that can't be discounted is the fact that you also have to look at the position that Andre Drummond plays. The center, the modern day center in the NBA is to what the modern day NFL running back is, and that's completely discounted. It's completely discounted because now with as many threes that are being shot, they don't play inside out anymore. They don't play inside out. And Roy, you can speak to that because you've played basketball. You know what I'm saying? So now a guy like Andre Drummond, who is your quintessential back to the basket center, the guy who drop step dunk, the guy who's going to get 15, 20 rebounds a game, they're not playing through him. They're not running plays.
Right, yeah.
So but I mean, it's different though, right? We understand the game's different. But guess what? Guess what? Miles and everybody on this panel, you know how much it costs to treat somebody like a human?
Zero.
Oh.
Absolutely.
And that's what it boils down to. It boils down to humanity.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then one more point on that I want to make before we finish. Now we are all just looking at the fact that yes, they signed up for it, and yes, hey Marley, and yes, they
all the way over there.
Agreed to it. But I think with people like Dave Chappelle coming in and doing what he did with all of those networks and contracts that he signed and was able to shift gears in the middle of playing the game, despite the fact that he agreed to it, doesn't always allow for the legal system to have the final straw. He found his power. He was able to exercise his power and make a change without even dealing with the legal system. And that was kind of like what I felt that Green was going after, just saying, yeah, we signed up for this. Yes, we understood that this was par for the course. Yes, we understand that we don't necessarily have the rights that a team has, but we might need to rethink this because this is not right.
It needs to be some kind of conversation or something. I mean, even when they change administration, they talk to them before they do it. I'm talking about in the school system. They can see you all over wherever, but they talk to you before they send you. Before they send you somewhere else, they talk to you like, "Hey, you're gonna go over here." Like
in the interview.
That's kind of like the
DeMarcus Cousins.
How did he respond?
Ooh.
He was pissed.
He was heated.
That's crazy.
I mean, he was being in the middle. He was being interviewed.
I'll tell you another thing about that.
Yeah, that ain't right.
In that particular instance, DeMarcus Cousins was on the verge. He was on the verge of becoming a max player, and he ended up not getting his contract. He ended up not getting the max dollars, and subsequently kind of fell almost into oblivion. You know what I'm saying? Because now he's at one and we're just talking about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, you're talking about a player that went from being arguably the best center and best big man in basketball,
all-star,
to a role player.
Well, here's the thing. Here's why. What they don't understand is they don't understand how you're going to react. And DeMarcus Cousins doesn't always act favorable. And they've created this narrative about him. Now he's a bad guy. He's a cancer in the locker. And then guess what? It affects your money.
Yeah,
it affects your livelihood.
Period. Like in any industry, that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what happens when you get labeled with that angry black man or angry black woman complex.
It's over.
You already know what time it is.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part about it.
Y'all don't even know that the angry black.
The crazy part about it is when he was in Sacramento, he was always getting in arguments in Sacramento.
The police have not arrived. You've not seen angry yet. So just let me go to my car.
But that's the same way. It's just they're so late to the game.
We're gonna leave her alone.
Well, I've never had to be escorted out of a place.
But look, here's the other thing that I wanted to say was very interesting. DeMarcus Cousins was in Sacramento, and they labeled him a bad guy. He was a cancer. Got rid of him, and one of the sports commentator would talk so bad about him. Guess what?
Bad about him, bad.
Years later, the same sports commentator for the Kings gets fired for what? Racism.
talking about
Hey,
people.
remember,
Yeah.
Roy, what was so apropos, if I may use that
right.
term. It was so
Apropos.
Boy, was thirsty. I was thirsty.
What was so
You better
apropos about
say
that particular situation? Remember how he got fired was because DeMarcus Cousins set him up. DeMarcus Cousins sent him a tweet like he knew he would respond.
He baited him. He
did
baited him.
exactly what DeMarcus thought he would do, and then the Kings fired him. And then the Kings fired him.
excellent.
As soon as we try to stand up for something.
Did that answer your question, Mo?
It does.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's keep talking about the NBA. Did you all hear about Michael Jordan?
Donating some money.
I did.
Yeah, Michael, he
donated money where?
And
here's $10.
Wilmington,
and I
North
read
Carolina,
that he had
clinics.
and this is not the first clinic that he's had.
No.
When I read the story, I was like, that's pretty good because I think the more broad view is a lot of people don't know what Michael Jordan does because he never really, he doesn't publicize the work that he does.
He didn't start off doing stuff.
Randy.
He didn't do stuff at first.
Right.
He's not obligated. Y'all act like he's obligated to do that. He don't know.
He is obligated.
But not even on the fact of being obligated. Not even on the fact of being obligated. He did not. But I said that he did not use his person. The person that he was, he didn't use it. He didn't want to be involved in all that stuff.
Exactly. That's why you can't just make somebody be in that because you want to be in it.
He didn't go to Nike. he was almost at Commerce.
I think he did for his community. That's why I was interested. I found it interesting that he has had clinics in North Carolina
for years.
That no one knew about.
Interesting.
For years.
Yeah, it is interesting.
But it also speaks to the trouble in the healthcare system because Michael Jordan's had to build free clinics in rural North Carolina because we got a jacked up healthcare system.
For the Brown,
It doesn't provide for it. Like you got to think about that. Like he's building clinics in his own hometown in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's not like Wilmington's a small city.
Yeah, that's not small.
Right.
People know where Wilmington is. Like
not like Wilmington is Pahokee or something.
That part.
Right.
Not out there in the Tri-Cities. Shout out to Palm Beach County. You know what I'm saying?
Tri-City, Tri-County.
No, man, my problem with Mike Roy is just the fact that he never spoke up when he had the platform to do so. If you look at the stance, the overt stance that LeBron James has taken against issues of social justice.
Not everybody comes to their.
Shout out to Akron, Ohio.
Yeah,
I mean, shout out to him, but that's who he is.
At the time, we want them to come there.
We all know that LeBron is the greatest player of all time. I mean,
he's not, Mo. He's not. No, he's not.
He's better than Jordan.
He's not.
Back up.
Well, but here's the thing, though. Now, okay, let's flip the script. If we had Al Sharpton come out here and start speaking on our behalf, we'd be like, that nigga can't speak on my behalf. He don't represent me. So how we black folk ain't never satisfied.
They weren't saying for him to speak on
no, it's true.
No, they weren't saying our behalf and do something for the community.
We want people to do stuff when we want them to do it. We can't say when is Michael Jordan's time and how he should do it.
Let me say this.
Not when we want them to do it, but when they need to do it. When the time calls for them to do it, they need to step up and do it.
I understand where you're coming from, Roy.
You told Mike Ebony said.
You told him say this. My point is just that, listen, there are certain things, the voice that Michael Jordan had in his prime, he could have changed the trajectory on a lot of things.
Exactly.
I'm sure. I agree.
If he just said something, but he said nothing, Roy.
But here's the thing. But y'all gotta understand that doesn't mean it was
publicly, Roy.
Here's the thing. Okay, but I understand that. But here's the thing.
He didn't have time to do nothing because his teammates out. He was too busy.
That might be the case, but here's the thing. Maybe he used discernment. Maybe God told him not to do it at the time.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
I don't think.
Really?
No,
Really?
I'm serious.
We can't
really,
think
Roy?
You can't make somebody do something because you think it's a time for him to do it.
With that gambling addiction he got, Roy, you bringing God into this, right?
No, listen, you guys are caught up in the money in his voice.
Jordan,
I'm saying that maybe he was being obedient.
All of that stuff.
Right.
Well, my thought on it is just, yes, I understand the biblical principle, to whom much is given, much is required.
Yeah, that is what I said.
However, I also believe that it is a certain time that everyone is not called at the same time. That might not have been his calling. He might not have been mature enough to even speak on anybody else's behalf. And I would just love to see all of us on this panel when we are faced with an adversity of something that where we have the opportunity to speak up. To have
we all can think about times where, dang, I probably should have said something back to that person or whatever.
Let me clarify what I was saying. I was not talking about standing up and speaking on somebody's behalf. I was saying doing something in the community. He did not want to. And I think he always did not want to be that person.
But he didn't want to be that person. Talk about it out loud.
To know what he did and what he didn't do. All I know is what he says publicly. I don't know.
And guess what? I learned it from watching his little story thing that he did. The last dance. That's why I learned that from. That he was like, I don't want to do that.
What do you
think? He wanted to cuss out his teammates. I don't understand what y'all saying.
He did say that.
What were you saying, Dwight?
No. I was just simply saying that Michael Jordan had multiple opportunities throughout his career, both in game and out of game, to make public stances on things that were just easy, right? Like when Oprah steps out to endorse Obama in 2008, that's when she basically giving permission to all black folks. Like, hey, whatever your status is or think your status is, we all gotta stand in. It's time for us to stand in solidarity. And even then, Chicago guy running for office, Michael Jordan, still did not publicly.
He might not even like the guy.
It didn't matter.
It does matter. It doesn't matter. When you're Michael Jordan and you can't go nowhere and people follow you and they lean on every word, it does matter to him. Maybe to you it doesn't matter, but maybe to him
what was Michael Jordan doing in 2008, Roy?
So I'm just saying.
But that's my point. What was Michael Jordan doing in 2008?
I don't care. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows what he was doing. But I think that's not who he is.
He wasn't playing ball. He wasn't playing ball, and he was definitely.
I think that's not who he is, Dwight. I think the thing is, Dwight, if you guys look at Michael Jordan has been consistent across the board where he does not do anything publicly. He's been consistent.
It's not just publicly. That's what we're saying. We're not talking about publicly only. He does not do a lot.
No, he doesn't do a lot. I think Michael Jordan lives a lonely. I think he lives a lonely life. I think he wants to because he is so big. Yeah, he's so big that he's like, I don't want to be out. He likes to be away from all of it.
That's a weak cop out.
I'm not saying it is or it isn't, Dwight, but I just think that Michael Jordan lives his life. He doesn't like
any
that.
athlete, period.
But that doesn't mean
or after. He wasted that kind of thing.
But according to you, though, that only to you.
Okay, but Roy, I'm not even talking about him making a stand on anything. What I'm saying is,
I could not want to participate, even being paid to have a stance politically to go against some of the candidates that were out for the presidential election. Could not pay them enough money to open their mouth. Couldn't.
But I'm not talking about
I want to finish my statement. So some people do not have that in them. They just don't have it in them. And I'm telling you, that was in 2008. I'm talking about what happened in 2020. You couldn't give them enough money to want to participate in politics.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I'm not talking about politics.
I wasn't talking about politics. When I said the statement,
I wasn't talking to Mokita or April. This was what Roy and Dwight was talking about.
Yeah. What?
With
what?
Y'all.
Oh, okay, I got you. I understand what you're saying. I got you.
Oh, we couldn't hear you. We couldn't hear you. So okay.
It wasn't about me. It was the white. It wasn't about what I
Nobody
said.
heard what you were talking about at the beginning. Nobody heard what you were talking about at the beginning, but we hear it now that you said you were talking about the Oprah thing. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not saying I agree with you guys. I think that he's had opportunity to do things, but the opportunity is in whose eyes? To him, it might not be an opportunity. To him, he's like, hey, I want to stay out of harm's way. I want to stay away from it all. I got too much going on. And no matter what I say, could be political, could change lives, could do a lot of things, but that's not who I am. And so I'm not saying that what you're saying is not necessarily true. I just think Mike is one of those dudes. He loves his privacy. He can't go nowhere even till this day and hasn't played.
And people, you have to realize people dealing with it. Sometimes they be trying to work on themselves. So all those things that we're bringing up now, like he gambling, drinking, dad, fam, all of those things. Imagine you have to deal with all of that, and then also have to be the voice of the people.
Well, I'm not saying
nobody asked him to be the voice. B.
He had a pair of tennis shoes.
That's what the majority of people ask him.
Shooting each other over the
his
tennis
platform.
shoes.
That's what I mean.
He couldn't make a statement about the tennis shoes. You shouldn't be out there robbing and stealing and killing people. That's what I'm
about
saying.
His shoes.
Well, but you also here's on the flip side, Mo. His shoes open up a lot of doors for people too.
What doors?
Man, you know how many kids want to be like Mike? Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
And the shoes open up those doors, bro.
Listen. How many
shoes?
I bet you right now, if you look at the Jordan shoe right now, it's still probably one of the number one selling shoes.
It probably
a lot of kids that want that shoe.
Let's talk about somebody who does speak up for the people, and that's
Dwight,
your boy, Colin.
Oh, the backlash that he's getting.
Yeah.
Child, please. The Proud Boy.
The opposite of Michael Jordan, right there.
Hey, can we talk about something light? Because this is too much. I'm like getting over this. Can we talk about Kim and Kanye? Because I don't even know what happened.
Oh my goodness.
For real, because this is doing too much.
First of all, I can't have you skipping over my frat brother like that, April. First of all.
Yeah, we got to talk about but what happened with him and the Proud Boys?
They threatened his production for his series. Mm-hmm. They had to
because BET was gonna do something, right? BET is gonna do a series on him.
No, it's Netflix. They're shooting.
Netflix.
Netflix. Mm-hmm.
Are we sure Donald Trump didn't have something to do with that? We might have said, "Hey, stand by, stand back, stand by."
Yeah,
that guy. Stand back, stand by, and get that guy.
And shout out to the NAACP for suing the Proud Boys and Donald Trump.
Yeah, tell us about that.
They did. Great. I'll toast to that.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, Dwight.
Yeah, so the NAACP filed suit on behalf of Congressman Benny Thompson out of Mississippi, basically suing Donald Trump for violating a longstanding law that's been on the books called the Ku Klux Klan Act. Basically prohibits a president or a senator from conspiring with white nationalist or white supremacist organizations. And so this lawsuit is brought against Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and the Proud Boys for Donald Trump's conspiracy to commit insurrection.
That we have a law on a book like that is something.
Well, you didn't put out a history lesson, Dwight, on that one.
Yeah. First of all, I had no idea because it seems to me the course of this country, they always seem to manage to call domestic terrorism when black groups and colors and groups that have people of color, such as the Huey P. Newtons and the Black Panthers, that's domestic terrorism. But I've never heard them overtly call the KKK or white supremacy nor the Aryan Nation or anybody like that. I've never heard them call that domestic terrorism. And I never knew there was a long book to even categorize it as such. So I feel enlightened. Thank you very much.
Well, here's the other thing too: is how can we go as a country, spend millions of dollars, tax us too, put it into the military, can fly across the country and the world, bomb other countries, killing millions of people, and we can't get rid of the dang on KKK in the whole United States? Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
I'm just trying to figure that out.
They don't want
to figure it
right?
out.
Well, I was just about to
They
say,
don't want right. They don't want to figure that out.
You already
answer
know
your
the
own question. They don't want to get rid of it, so that's why it's
That's
still
because
here.
50% of the members are in Congress right now.
Exactly.
Carrying members.
Exactly. Getting
The first
kicked
time
back
I
and
ever
all.
heard domestic terrorists used in conjunction with
Or
a white
owners of
person
Publix.
was the guy that bombed the Oklahoma bomber.
City.
That was the
Timothy
first
McVeigh.
time. Yeah.
McVeigh.
Tim McVeigh, yeah.
Well,
Hopefully
look,
we win it.
and Justine.
All right, let's make it lighter for you.
Go ahead, y'all talk about them.
So divorce is lighter? What are we doing?
Woo, my girl.
That's what I was thinking, Dwight.
I didn't even know.
I'm
No,
confused.
I said let's talk about something lighter. What happened to Kim and Kanye? I don't even know. I'm first time learning this. I didn't know. This happened.
Didn't know they were getting divorced?
I didn't know that this happened.
Yes, she
I didn't know this happened. That's why I
She
said
filed
what
officially
happened.
today, April Jeezy. She filed officially today. I think
Well,
it was today.
Mm-hmm.
Her crazy didn't match his crazy.
Girl.
I mean, he's been off of his rocker. He's been off his rocker for a while, and
yes.
I mean, it's so much she was gonna take. I mean, they're the Kardashians, so
I'm about to say that's his fault. He off his rocker. I think she pushed him off the rocker.
I just want to point
when
out
his mom passed away is when he started
I
the
would like to speak on
and
behalf
that was
of the
nothing
Kardashians.
has to
That's
do
very
with the
true, April.
Kardashians.
I just want to point out if you ever have to visit me in Wyoming, I'm officially crazy.
What'd you say?
I mean, that's where Kanye was. It was like when they were going back and forth, Kim was like flying back and forth to Wyoming where he was to like try and reconcile. And I was just like, anytime a black man has found himself in Wyoming and it's not
right.
And it's not the late 1800s and you a cowboy?
What was he doing in Wyoming? Do we know?
Studio.
Doesn't matter.
He's got a studio out there.
Wow.
White doesn't matter.
I mean, I think he obviously hasn't been the same since his mom, but I also think the Kardashian, all that. There's a lot of moving parts with the Kardashians. So I think the death of his mom, with that on top of it, I'm sure it doesn't help.
Did his mom pass while he was with her?
No.
I think that was before.
So this was like his mom passed way before he started showing signs of off his rocker long before he got with Kim.
But can we talk about how the Kardashians destroy black men? Can we talk about that a little bit?
I mean, Dwight,
what'd you say, Dwight?
Dwight, speak, boy.
The Kardashians just be out here destroying black men left and right. Are we going? Okay.
Oh.
Lamar Odom has definitely kicked his habits, crack and everything. As soon as he got with a black woman, he's all of a sudden got fine. Like, I'm good. Messing around with the Kardashians.
Something happened with him and that girl too. Something just happened with him and her.
Yeah, they broke up.
Yeah, they said that they were like not really in a relationship. They didn't have
it's
any.
all good. He's not smoking crack. That's what I know.
Stuff going on.
But wasn't she like his therapist or trainer or something like life coach or something like that? I think
he was a trainer or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She was training him all right.
Avis, I wasn't paying attention to no breaking news today. Sorry.
I was
training him.
When I'm with somebody and I'm smoking crack, they might be the problem. When I'm not with them and I stop smoking crack, I can confirm that they were the problem. You dig what I'm saying? It's called deductive reasoning, people. We know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. 0-30. 0-30. 0-30.
No. That's not true now. That's not true because Reggie Bush made it through unscathed. He made it through unscathed.
What you talking about? He went and married somebody who was like her doppelganger. That man is touched. He don't know what.
She did. Dwight, she looked just like Kim.
Right?
He married her doppelganger. Yeah.
But he ain't smoking crack.
Look, he out here building homes for single parents, for single moms. So he's doing real good.
Exactly. As soon as you let a Kardashian go, you go on the.
What's the name of his company? You said
the nonprofit company that. I can't think of the name of it.
I don't know.
They're
I don't know what it is.
We partner with them. They always buy the houses. and they give them.
That's work done. I thought that was work done.
Oh, that's somebody.
Yeah,
that's work done.
That's definitely work done.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to work done.
He never got with a Kardashian, so you see how you doing. So that's
good. I agree.
Yeah.
Although I did run into him in Buckhead Publix, and the girl kind of.
No, Roy.
I can't lie.
Who?
If I'm lying, I'm flying.
Who are you talking about?
Work done. Work done.
Work done. Okay.
Warwick has a clean record, and he's doing really great things.
He does. He always does. He's fantastic.
Well, You're
right, Earl. His career did end.
Yeah, but that's just because he wasn't very good in the NFL. Like he
work
wasn't.
done.
No,
we're talking about.
Wait, Reggie Bush wasn't bad. Come on, man.
I didn't say he wasn't bad. I just said
his career wasn't good.
Was not what it wasn't. Let's put it like this, Roy. What you saw in college at USC is not what you saw in the NFL and what you expected. And that's
you're playing with professionals, man. I mean, they're grown men running a 4-4-4-5. I mean, what you expect?
I understand that, Roy, but all I'm saying is that his career was not what it was.
I mean, don't diminish the man what he did in the NFL.
Listen, I like Reggie. I'm a Reggie Bush fan. I like him. I'm just saying
saying he was dating a Kardashian through most of his first half.
I was gonna say he was in the career where he was playing.
Listen, stop trying to distract the reality of certain things. All I'm saying is you got black men on this space.
Still stunting on y'all. Ray J is still stunting on y'all.
Thank you, Earl. Earl, you right. He was injury prone. You right, Earl.
Kardashians are not good for black men.
That's it.
Ray J is stunting on y'all.
Because the best ability is available.
Ray J is stunting on y'all.
Ray J hit it and quit it.
Ray J is the winner of it all. He started it. He's the jumper cables.
Not the jumper cables.
He's like that. Clear.
No.
He said, "I'm out."
I got the video.
We lost
the video.
Fred Price, Apostle Fred.
Yeah.
Passed away.
Bless his heart.
in peace.
Yeah.
Bless his family.
Yeah. And Prince Marky D.
Is Marcus? Who's going to take over his church? Is his son going to take over his church?
I know, right? I don't know, but he was diagnosed with COVID and was trying to recover from it. So it wasn't just overnight. So I'm sure that they were already working through trying to pull someone up to take over. But I don't know. He might have had someone being groomed all along.
Well, his son did a lot of the sermons.
Yeah.
I'm saying that
his son isn't a bad preacher either. He can preach.
Yeah.
No, he's good. He's good.
It would make me feel guilty because I'd be asleep with the TV on, and when he pop on at like random points in the morning, I would just be like, "Oh, I need to do something with my life."
Yeah, I'll tell you, you right about that, Fred. No, you said a lot, Dwight. Fred was omnipresent on TV. I swear.
I'm talking about, boy, you hear that cadence hit? You were like, let me get up and do something with my life. What is it? 4:30, 5 o'clock? I'm too sleep. I'm
wasting
be more productive.
Oh, Earl said that his son was groomed to take over. So
nice.
Yeah,
I'm not shocked. Where is that church located anyway?
Crenshaw, California.
Oh, it's in Cali? Okay.
Cali.
I like the way you say Crenshaw like it's a city. That's great. Jessica.
Crenshaw. Who said Crenshaw like, boys in the hood?
Crenshaw?
He's from Crenshaw.
Crenshaw. Shout out to LA, the great city of Crenshaw.
On the West Coast, you're not talking about I'm from LA and you really from Baldwin Hills. I'm just saying.
That's real.
Been there, done that. That's not what they do. But okay, for the show, Los Angeles. Okay.
For those who don't know what Crenshaw
we like that too down here. It's not. I'm from Miami.
I'm from Richmond.
Yeah. I'm from Richmond Heights. I'm know what you're talking about.
I'm from Polk Street.
And the white can't stop correcting people. That's why we got him that T-shirt for Christmas. So we know.
Polk Street.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's the exact opposite in Atlanta. It don't matter where you from. You from Atlanta.
No, because they be reaching. They want to be from Atlanta, and they not from Atlanta.
Atlanta's been spread
They
to
live
like
all the way
37
on the
counties at this point.
outside.
Okay.
Talking about, I'm from Atlanta.
They'll do the
No, you're
zones in
not.
Atlanta too.
You from
They'll
Macon?
do
You
zone
live in
one.
Macon?
You stupid.
It's like, where you from? Outside of Savannah. Oh, you from Atlanta? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, no, no.
Look, you know what? They do that in college because I know when I went to North Carolina to college, they were like, "Oh, where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, I'm from Miami," and they're like, "Oh no, she's from Florida. I'm from Florida."
No, see, because they don't understand that right there used to make me laugh.
Earl, what you know about College Park? What you know about College Park, Earl?
Look, that thing
And
used
the
to make me
SWAT,
laugh.
they'll do the zones or
What
Bankhead.
part of Florida are you from? Well, I'm from Belgrade.
No. Yeah, you're from Florida. I'm from Miami.
Right.
It's different. It's two different
Earl,
things.
go pick me up some urchins. Give me some urchins from College Park, Earl.
Friend, that's two different states. Miami and then Florida.
It's two different. Okay,
two different states.
Belgrade, y'all. What? I don't know what you're doing over there. What are you doing?
You're taking me back.
What do y'all do?
When that girl said, "So you're from Florida?" He said, "No, I'm from Miami."
From Miami.
No, yeah, like
right.
In
Florida.
Miami, Florida, right.
Miami and Florida. No, Miami-Dade County.
Miami is
Miami-Dade County.
It is a
Dade County to be exact, but you know.
Right. Entity, when you cross that Broward and Dade County line, when you cross County Line Road, it's a separate entity. It's a separate entity.
Separate.
Born and raised in the county of Dade.
Fort Lauderdale is like Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
I don't even include Fort Lauderdale.
No,
and then Florida.
Fort Lauderdale kind of has spots in it that's like, Miami Gardens, like a little, it's all right.
If
Fort Lauderdale, you like, that's Florida.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true. But it's different.
It's Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee.
Don't you stop? Don't you stop after you say Orlando? Because really, after Orlando, do you really count anything else after Orlando?
Well, I mean, Duval a little bit, and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta count Jacksonville because they got their own call. Duval,
Mike,
yeah,
Mike back.
Tallahassee is the state capital.
In the back, yeah.
We went to the barbecue place, and it was in a part of the city that people were like, "Never come here after dark, and never come by yourself."
Where?
I can't remember the name of it.
In Miami?
Yes. Okay, so I think it was in Miami. I mean, it's in Florida.
She's in Miami.
You know us too well to talk about it was in Florida or Miami.
We were in Miami.
No, Moquita was in Miami Gardens.
No,
right.
Maybe that's right.
You in Carol City?
Under a bridge?
I miss Carol City.
What's the name of it?
Carol City?
No, but it was city afterward. It was
Liberty City.
Liberty City.
That's it.
Yeah.
Girl, you crazy?
Yeah.
Or what they told you was 100% correct.
Correct. Don't do that.
You know what I bet Moquita was? I bet Moquita was at the Rolex. Because remember, the Rolex got some of the best
it wasn't no strip club. It was a barbecue.
No, but listen,
She was over there by Jumbo.
Listen, Mo, what I'm trying to tell you is the Rolex in the parking lot, they barbecue, and it's like some of the best barbecue in the city.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Moquita was on 183rd. She was on 183rd.
I was going to say what she is.
But she said it was nighttime.
No, they said don't ever come at nighttime.
Oh, People's Barbecue.
No,
you were at People's Barbecue, probably.
What they said was never come back here at nighttime and never come by yourself.
First of all, April, you trying to give it too much credibility. It was a trap barbecue stand somewhere off of 7th Avenue. And they were just like, listen, we're going to be here until sundown. That's it. Then we roll it.
Right.
We out.
Right.
Roll it out. It ain't like that.
It ain't going to be out here just selling
I
barbecue
miss People's Barbecue. Nobody has that smoky taste. That People's Barbecue. I'm ready for them to come back.
Oh, let's go to People's.
They closed. They're closed.
Yum, 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 yum.
What'd you say?
Carlos. I said, let's leave on this debate. Danny or Carlos?
Danny.
Oh,
But we gotta tell Mokita,
oh,
we gotta tell the
Carlos.
viewers who aren't from
Wait,
Miami
Carlos.
what we're
I
talking
have a
about.
question. There was a colorful building you took me to, and we got conch fritters from this building. Who
That was
was
Carlos.
that?
Carlos's.
Carlos.
That's Carlos.
They took
Okay,
it to
now
the
I gotta say I
trash.
gotta go Carlos
Anyway, it's Danny.
Now we love Danny. We love Danny.
Yes,
We love Danny.
It's Danny all day.
Danny.
You
How
don't
many
have
people
enough
for
credibility
Danny? Raise
here
your
to
hand.
speak on this war. So you're
Raise
gonna
your
have to
hand
be
if you're
quiet.
for Danny.
I'm getting
1,
from
2, 3, 4.
Team Danny all day.
5.
Stuff.
Team
It's
Danny
2
all
and
day.
5. Y'all get out of
Danny.
here with that. The
Danny
Montans.
fried lobster. Carlos.
Yeah, Team Danny all day.
So here's the test, B. Scott. I'm just saying, if I was like, tomorrow, meet me at Carlos, I'm treating for a shrimp and conch plate. Are you
Still
not
coming.
coming? Is that what
I'm
you
still going. Still going.
I might. Hey,
you not gonna stay
I'm
through?
going.
Hey, Dwight.
I'm
See
going,
you
but
on
I need
Homestead
that
Ave.
sauce.
That's all I know.
Like Roy said, I need that
sauce.
that's the
Danny,
sauce from Danny to put on the.
Danny sauce all day, every day.
With sauce. He's bothered.
Hey, Dwight, I might meet you over there for the shrimp. You got to take me back
I'm getting my
across
call
the
from
Richmond
the
Heights
bank.
for the conch.
Look, Danny's sauce
Gotta
so
go to
good, I
work,
drink
B.
it. His sauce so good, I
Right.
drink it.
Oh wow.
His sauce is good.
So good.
It's very
His sauce
good.
is off the charts. Give me some ice cubes, I'll drink it.
My
Just like this
lipstick
in the
brings
cup.
all the boys to the yard. His sauce is good.
So good.
Yeah.
Are we still on?
Okay, let's go. All right, y'all. We'll holler at you next week. Peace.